So yesterday, the woke mob gathered outside of Netflix headquarters to do their protests in response to Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer. And at this particular protest, there were individuals of the woke mob who were outright assaulting people who were providing a counter protest. I guess this was the violence that they were referring to that might come from this comedy special. And before we get into this video, thank you to our sponsor, A-Game, the all-natural herbal male solution that promotes strength, energy, vitality, and libido. A all-natural herbal solution for men.
This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Enter discount code YOUNG10 at checkout to get 10% off your next order. Link for A-Game in the description box below. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at least one incident that occurred during this protest outside of Netflix headquarters, where we had people from the woke mob that cannot take a joke displaying what I believe to be mental illness, delusion, because these people were not only assaulting this man, they were accusing this counter protester of having a weapon, which he clearly did not have.
Breaking my sign! Why is he breaking my sign? Don't you have free speech rights? Don't you have free speech rights of all of you? Oh, look, there's such a violence. He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon! Oh, do you want me to drop my weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
And leave.
There's my weapon.
We're not trying to have any discussion.
I'm not discussing anything.
You're talking about We're trying not to have any discussion.
I'm just here to say that jokes are funny, people. Dave Chappelle is a funny guy. I love Dave. I don't know why all the violence. I don't know why all the hate. I just love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle! Hey, it's funny. Dave Chappelle!
And see, the reason why I have to keep being highly critical of leftists, highly critical of wokeness, the woke mob, modern day woke folk. The reason why I have to do this is because many of these people have fake virtue. This is why they virtue signal so much, and I have to call it out. Because how are you going to pretend to be a righteous person? You're going to pretend to be a social justice warrior, as many of them do. Meanwhile, you're bearing false witness on a person. You're putting false allegations on a person right before everyone's eyes. And the whole crowd is just going along with them saying, oh, he has a weapon. They're assaulting him for exercising his First Amendment right, which is the freedom of speech, freedom to peacefully assemble and protest, which the woke mob, they have that right as well. But we see with that example that the woke mob, they do not care about the rights of others. They only care about what they want. They only care about what they think is right. They want to impose their will on others. And unfortunately, the CEO of Netflix has been backpedaling, and he's been more apologetic for, I guess, not bowing down to the woke mob and their agenda to be offended by everything that is not praise, which is ludicrous, which is insanity, because the woke mob is hypersensitive and love to take the fun out of everything. We can't even make jokes anymore. We can't joke about anything. And if you actually watch that comedy special, The Closer, any sane person, any rational person should be able to discern the difference between a hate speech and a joke. Inciting of violence and a joke. These things are not even close to one another. And to give a bit more details about this current situation, critics, largely transgender Netflix employees, have suggested that Chappelle's words would give way to real-world violence against transgender individuals. Ironically, like I said, hey, the only violence I've seen so far has been from the woke mob being so offended by some jokes. A claimed question very recently by a notable expert in psychology from Centon University. Netflix initially stood by Chappelle refusing calls from several transgender employees to pull the special and terminate the network's relationship with the comedian, which is crazy, triggering the walkout, the virtual walkout that I mentioned in my previous video. They really should stop taking half measures. And if you that upset, maybe you shouldn't work at Netflix anymore. If you that mad over some jokes. Y'all this mad over that, but I didn't really see a lot of woke individuals upset about the Cuties movie. I didn't see y'all having a problem with that, which that's very telling. Y'all mad about some obvious jokes that are not hateful or insightful whatsoever. Clearly jokes. And he was actually kind to acknowledge how trans people view themselves in that comedy special. But y'all did not have the same energy, the same level of outrage, none of the woke mob for that movie Cuties. Y'all was cool with that, I guess. Very telling. Even though that involved children being displayed in disgusting ways. So dozens of protesters were at the headquarters of Netflix Wednesday, which was yesterday. And as we saw from that footage, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos largely backed Chappelle at the beginning, but he admitted Wednesday in an apparent attempt to placate critics that he had erred in being forcefully defensive of the network in his initial conversations. So he stated, "I screwed up the internal communication, and I don't mean just mechanically." Sarando said in an interview, "I feel I should have made sure to recognize that a group of our employees was hurting very badly from the decision I made, and I should have recognized up front before going into a rationalization of anything, the pain they were going through. Wow, I say that because I respect them deeply and I love the contribution they have at Netflix. They were hurting and I should have recognized that first." So Dave Chappelle was 100% right with what he said in that special, as far as if you hurt their feelings, you in trouble. Because apparently we are putting feelings way above reality at this point in modern society. But I am curious what you guys think about this whole thing. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button, and blessings to you.